Hello and welcome. Today I am going to be talking about episode 7 of The Last of Us. So, as in previous videos, I will start with the episode recap and then get into the discussion. So, with that, sit back, relax, and let's get started. I can't believe we're already up to episode 7. In the beginning, we pick up almost exactly where we left off in the aftermath of Joel being stabbed, with a giant flashback in between when Ellie sews him up after discovering a needle and thread. At this point, Joel is still at death's door. They're miles from anything approaching safety and more than 500 miles from the Fireflies Hospital in Salt Lake City. Winter is coming, and we have just 2 episodes left to wrap things up. Going back to the flashback, it began with Ellie, Walkman on, jogging her way through gym class before getting into a fight with Bethany and being hauled in front of a sympathetic Captain Kwong. We then saw Riley return. From there, as they encountered the dead body in the corridor, drank booze, played with Riley's pistol, and explored the abandoned mall, the tension rose. It wasn't so much a question of if some infected were going to appear, but when and how many? The dialogue along the way was sharp and funny, showing that even when the world has gone to hell and your best friend is leaving you to join the revolutionaries, there's still time for laughter and crushes. Just as last week's episode served up spectacular cinematography, this week was no less beautiful, despite being in the confines of an abandoned shopping center. The shot of Ellie looking out over the balcony as Riley fired up the electricity was stunning. After navigating electric stairs, we got a lesson in the logic of looting. Footwear was highly desirable, soap and lingerie less so. If nothing else, the fully stocked Victoria's Secret window display did allow Ellie to think about desire for a moment and question whether Riley could ever see her in that way. For the first and only time so far, we saw a moment of vanity as Ellie checked her hair in the shop window reflection. Next up, the carousel, more booze, the photo booth, and then a few goes on the Mortal Kombat 2 arcade machine she and Joel encountered in episode 3. Of course, such bliss can't last. We soon found out that Ellie and Riley's glorious evening was also intended as a painful farewell. Just as we were given our first glimpse of an infected. From then on, it was merely a matter of time before they were attacked. Not even the gorgeous scene of them dancing to Etta James and their eventual kiss could delay their inevitable demise. When it finally came. The attack was incredibly violent. Ellie and Riley easily overpowered. The frantic camera work emphasizing the horror. The realization of their bites was heartbreaking. Despite having been signposted from the beginning. We briefly cut back to the present following Ellie's search for medical supplies before returning to the mall, where Riley gave Ellie 2 options. The second time this episode. End it now or keep going to make the most of their remaining time together. So that was it for the recap, and now we'll move into the discussion. Finally rummaging through all the drawers and cabinets in a house and hitting a flashlight. I still can't believe this show is real. Winter is by far my favorite chapter, and I'm sure many others feel the same way. Next episode is one I've been waiting for since the show was announced. Those masks were crazy accurate. Combining the Halloween store with the dancing scene was great. The kiss broke my heart, especially after the way Ellie was looking at Riley on the carousel. Ellie, in a way, loses her best friend Riley to the Fireflies, so it makes sense that she wants them to be decent people because she can't stand the fact that her best friend would abandon her for a useless cause. Makes her choice to give herself up to them and find a cure that much more impactful. Kind of freaking out at how well replicated the mall was from Left Behind. The costume store arcade. Everything looked perfect. They even threw in the photo booth. I also like the subtle Easter egg of Ellie hitting her flashlight to get it to work again. A small feature in the game. Saving the song in the game for when Ellie stitches up Joel and the end credits was a powerful choice. Ellie holding onto Joel the way she couldn't hold on to Riley. The non-game watchers are in for a ride next week. The subtle Just Like Heaven by The Cure tune playing over the merry-go-round. Amazing choice. The girls did incredible. There was the scene where they were touching and laughing, and you could tell Ellie wanted to go in for a kiss, and it just made my heart ache thinking about what it was like when I was that age. It looked exactly like I felt when I was a teenager, and I thought my heart would explode in my chest when I was around certain people. I can see why some wouldn't like the pacing of this episode, but I honestly really enjoyed it. The cinematography was gorgeous, especially with the neon lights. The practical effects for the infected against the wall were great, and it was nice to explore a representation of young love. I love that they are showing nuance with Fedra and the Fireflies, and how they are both good and bad. So I am going to end there. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will see you next